Ms. Ellen Rowe to come up to the stage.
Thanks so much. I'm really excited to hear the piece. I did have my University of Michigan Jazz Ensemble play through it a couple times just to make sure there weren't any hideous wrong notes, and if there were, to try to get them fixed before we laid it on these guys. But it's a wonderful, it's very exciting to get have a piece commissioned for you. You know, I came in last year, had a chance to hear the band, get to know them a little bit, hear what they're capable of, and then had a little bit of time to think about what I wanted to write. And one thing that's been on my mind a lot is just how do we keep jazz alive? How do we keep it interesting for the young students today? Because frankly, we're not hearing a whole lot of it in the radio. I mean, we're very blessed to have WEMU and some of the Detroit radio stations that still play jazz on a daily basis. But for the most part, it's not that. You have to really go out and look for it, and you have to make an effort to try to listen to jazz. So I thought it might be interesting to find a way to show how jazz has influenced some of the more modern music that especially kids, I think, are listening to. And especially I thought about hip-hop, because hip-hop, you know, has the same kind of attitude and utilizes the same kind of swing feel as jazz. And I thought, well, if I could find a piece, if I could find a way to write a piece that would kind of combine that hip-hop attitude with jazz attitude, students might go, oh, wow, okay, I get it. You know, I've got to go back now and listen. You know, a lot of these hip-hop artists actually sample jazz in their recordings, so there's a real cultural tie-in between the two styles of music, and so that's kind of what I was trying to do here. I got some friends to recommend some good, you know, frankly, I was not that well-versed in a lot of hip-hop. I listened to some of it. My students had, you know, told me about a few great artists. But I got some recommendations for some good drum grooves to listen to, and I found one I particularly liked and decided that I would go ahead and transcribe that and kind of use that as the basis to sort of get me inspired to come up with a melody that would go with it. And so what you'll hear in the piece is kind of going back and forth between hip-hop and swing. And so maybe if I could ask, I'm not sure which drummer is playing this piece, I'm going to turn around and find out. Ask him to demonstrate a little bit of the hip-hop groove and then demonstrate a little bit of just what a swing groove feels like, so you can kind of hear the differences between the two grooves. Okay, so that's our hip-hop groove, and now we're going to try the swing groove. Sure, that's great. Anyway, the thing that's, I think, yeah, let's put it up. I think maybe I'd like to ask the saxophones to play a little bit of the intro. I think this is... if they were playing it without a swing feel, it would sound boo-ba-dee-boo-dee, boo-ba-da-ba-da. It sound almost classical in nature, but they're not going to play it that way, hopefully. So you can get a difference, get an idea for what we mean when we say we can actually swing this melody. Okay, yeah, so you kind of so it's kind of an attitude about how they're going to play their eighth notes. So you can listen to that and listen to the fact that when we actually go into the swing feel at the bridge, this may be the last thing I asked them to demonstrate, they're still going to be playing their eighth notes the exact same way. Okay, so maybe a little bit at the bridge. So they're still playing their eighth notes the exact same way as they were in more of the hip-hop groove, but now we have the bass doing a walking bass line, which is something that we hear in jazz all the time. So it's just trying to kind of marry the two grooves. So I think that's probably enough about the piece, but I'm really excited to hear it played by these guys, and this is the Hip Hop Bop Stop.
Thank you.